Okay, very good. Okay, so just to back up a couple steps here, we talked about what the basics of this were. And as we get into this, what it's going to be, how do we start the project? So we talked about downloading the actual template, and the template is actually located on Blackboard. So just to kind of like go through that real quickly here, just so that those who are just kind of coming into this right now, and thank you for saying that. I'd like to make sure everyone's got this. What you would do is you go out here to Blackboard, and you'll download the Winthrop House template right here. You go ahead and download that. Now, once that's downloaded, that's going to be your starting point. So then going back over to Revit, just talking about what we're doing right here, we've actually got the structure, and we've got this in place right now. We're taking a look at a finished version of it. So this right here is the first floor of this. And let me just do one quick thing just to kind of give those who are just, because I do appreciate you saying that, by the way. This is what the project is going to look like. This is what the finished project is going to look like. This is actually a house that I built and designed in Michigan. We're going to do this. It's a simple plan, and it's actually it's a good starter type project. So that's what we're going to work on right here. So this is what you got going on, and this is what we're going to draw. Can you guys all see that that photograph of that house right there with the brick on it? Can you guys all see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. So that's where we're going. That is where we're going. So getting back over here, Revit, we're going to go back to here, and that's what we're going to draw. So now this is what the first floor looks like. And going back over here, if I take a look at it in 3D, boom. Well, doesn't that look familiar? Well, it should, because that's what we just had there. And so what I've got going on right here is just kind of a basic representation of what this is going to be. So we have that. So now what we're going to do right here is I'm just going to kind of go through these elements little by little here. So this is what we're going to do here. And this is all put together with the different elements in Revit. Now, let me just kind of show you something here real quickly here. Because as we get into this right now, if I click on this wall, when I click on that wall, it tells me over here the kind of wall that I'm using. You can always find it by going here. It tells me right here, basic brick exterior wall, basic wall brick exterior wall. This is a wall that I made for you guys for this project. So I went ahead and put this together, and let's take a look at what this looks like. So anytime you have an element selected here, you can go here and see what the different elements look like by going over here to edit type. So let me go ahead and do that for you guys. So over here, if I go to edit type, I can click on this right here. And when I click on that, it's going to allow me to see a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll click on there, click on edit type, and now I'm in here. And so now that I'm in here, what am I looking at? What I'm looking at right now are the elements that are here. So where do I find them? Well, I go up here, up to, under my, up here, and you're going to see right here where it says edit. Right here, edit. I want to click on that edit. So watch what happens when I click on this edit. I'll go here, and I'll click on edit, boom. And so now when I come into here, it shows me this, okay? And you may say, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is this right here. I can actually take this, and I can actually go ahead and see a preview of what my wall is going to look like. So here's the elements. First of all, you got your finish, which is brick common 3/4 inch. Now that's, we all know the bricks are more like 3.5 inches wide. So why is it 3/4? Well, for this particular, I was going to build a sided house, just a basically a vinyl sided house, and the standards, the actual coding, the actual code for that neighborhood was that you had to use brick. So I had to use, instead of changing it, it would have been a whole lot more expensive to go with brick. We use this brick, this 3/4 inch brick stuff. It was actually like a thin, like a brick veneer really is what it was. So we used that. It was real brick. And then when you were all done, you actually went along with a big chef's bag full of grout, and you filled in all the gaps. Okay, this is a technique that's used sometimes. And then you got your next finish down here, and the next finish down here is actually your insulation. So you had insulation, which was 3/4 inch thick blue foam insulation, and that is what the bricks snapped into. And then the next thing we have down here is your substrate. You got plywood right here, so you have the plywood right here. The nice 1 inch for the thickness there. The structure, this is your softwood lumber, 3.5 inches, that's our stud. That's your 3.5 inch, that's your 2x4. So your 2x4 is there. And then you got here your actual gypsum wallboard, that's on the inside. So notice right here, these are listed inside to outside. So closer to the inside and closer to the outside. Right here, you've got your interior side, you got your exterior side. And interior side is down here, and so forth. So that's going down to the interior. Now, next I want to point out here is something else, and that is over here, I can get a preview. Now we go to the preview. This shows us a stacked view of what this wall looks like. But I want something a little more meaningful. I'm going to go and go to my section view. Now we go to the section view. Check this out right here. The section view is showing me these different elements right now. So what is this showing me right now? Well, right now you'll notice that finish is highlighted over here. Just so you guys are clear on that, where I'm looking at right here. Over here, finish is highlighted right here. And my gypsum wall board. So my gypsum wall board is right here, and the gypsum wall board is actually set up right there, and that's the last thing. That's the thing that's on the interior. So the interior side is the gypsum wall board. So I've got that in place right there. So the next thing I've got, if I were to go ahead and select the different elements right here, I can go here and go here. That is now my 2x4. So I highlighted that, and that just turned blue. As you can see it right here, this is the gypsum wall board. It's your sheetrock. Right here, it's your stud going right up. There's your plywood sheathing going to the outside. And then the next thing you have is your blue insulation. And then you have next, you got your brick common right here, common brick right here. So we are just about at 6:50 right now, and I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So we're going to take a brief break. Now, last week, I got the message from a couple of you guys like, hey, where'd you go? Where'd you go? So evidently some of you are not listening the whole time. Let me make it clear. We're going to take a short break right now. Okay, so we're coming back. We're not ending class. We're going to take just 5 minutes because we're kind of supposed to. So it's 6:50 right now. We'll go ahead and come back at 6:55 roughly, just to give you guys a chance to get up and get a cup of coffee, stretch your legs. We'll come back. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But before we go any further, before we stop, are there any questions at this stage right now? Is this making sense right now? Are there any questions yet?
Yeah, thank you.
You guys good? Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and was there a question though there, Julius?
I had to
No,
tell you
I'm
something,
good.
but off the record.
Oh, okay, very good. We can go ahead and address that off the record. If you want to chat me, you can do that, or you can give me a call. That's fine too. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take 5 minutes, and let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to mute myself. I'm coming back. I'm not leaving. So I realize some of you guys are just kind of like, I've had a few guys kind of leave, and then they thought I was gone, but I'm not gone. I'm just going to mute it for a second here. So we're going to do this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to mute this. See you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay, we're back. Can you guys hear me okay? Oop,
Yep.
Yes.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. All right. I'm just reading a couple of emails here. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. Appreciate that. And I know we all have some things that are constraints on our time. Just let me know if I can help, if you need anything. And that's great. So, all right, we're back at it. And so again, one more time, just do a little change. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so what we talked about was how this all works right here. We're doing the screen sharing right here. I'm going to do one more thing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go find a file right here that I want to show you guys. If I can do this, insulation right there. Yeah, that's the one right there. This is the one I didn't show you guys yet. I'm going to go ahead and show you this one and this one right here. Let me go ahead and show you this. Can you guys all see this image right here? It's the structure with like a blue facing. Can you guys all see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on there is that gives you an idea as far as how it went together. Okay, I'd mentioned that there was an exterior kind of a veneer of brick, and that's what you're seeing right there. You see that it's got a blue insulation. You'll see some silver clips that are on there too. That's how that's done. You essentially have the blue insulation, which is basically that kind of that foam insulation, and then it actually has some grooves in it, and you snap the bricks into there, and there's actually clips in there to hold it in there as well. So there's like a mechanical bond as well. And then you would go ahead and you would when it's all done, then you would use basically a cake decorating bag filled with grout, and you go in every joint, which I had to do by myself. It took a long time to do that. It was only the first floor, thankfully, but it was a lot of work. Okay, but that's how you go ahead and do that. So that is what is being modeled here. That is what we're modeling here. So that's what's going on. So now that we've got some idea as far as how this goes, let's jump into this and we'll start this process and we will move on into here. Okay, so let me do this. Let me go ahead and go back to Revit and we'll go ahead and work on this. So we talked about this as being the elements that are in the particular wall right there. And so that is what is going on there. That's what those elements are, and that's what that looks like. So that is what that is. And as I mentioned, the insulation there was like 3/4 of an inch, and 3/4 of an inch right there is the insulation that we see behind the brick there. So that is what's going on there. So I'm not going to change anything. Just going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So you guys should still be seeing this. Are you guys still seeing Revit right now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so moving on into here, we've got this. Now, there's a few things that are going on here. So we already kind of covered this before, but that's level one. As I mentioned, there's a level one copy one, which is essentially a detail, which I put together here. And that's just to give you guys a better idea as far as what it is. And I actually have it magnified, so it's easier to read. Level two is this right here. This is the second floor, and you'll notice that there's a couple of roofs. There's a roof over to the left, that's a garage, and a roof at the bottom, that's the actual roof of the porch. You have those elements that are going to be drawn as well. And then here is level two, copy one, gives you this kind of a look right there. So you have those things in place. So we have those, and then just going down, we got a floor plan for the basement. Looks like this right now. That's what it's going to look like. That's how that's going to be modeled. And then there's a structural plan for the basement, which looks like this. And this actually is showing us this right here, which is essentially the foundation plan, which is essentially what, it's a concrete pad, essentially what we have right there. So that's all we're doing for that right now, keeping it pretty simple. And as we'd mentioned before, there were a couple other views that we wanted to look at, and these were the elevations. So you have this is your east elevation right here. That is what that view looks like. And you can see the different elements that are in here. These are already set up for you. So this will actually won't require a whole lot of work. And then over here, you got this right here. This is the rear view. And the rear view right here, you'll see it's got a couple of windows right up here. You've got a kitchen window, which is back here. And you've got the door on the back of the garage. And over here, you've got like a triple glass door right here. So you got that. So these are all kind of in place right there. And then you have the front view right here. And then you have the west view, which is right here. Okay, so you got those different elements that are in place right there. So that is what we're going to draw. Then there's a wall section. We talked about the wall section, which is right here. And the wall section looks like this, which we'll be putting together and constructing from there. I have a couple renderings here. This is one rendering I just kind of like put together just to kind of give a basic idea. Got a couple of views here. This is the kitchen area when it's done. A little bit rough, but just kind of gives you an idea as far as what's available in there. And then what else do I have here? Got this one. Okay, so got that. Might be a little bit better view. And then I've got a couple 3D. Got a lot of different views here. 3D views. Yeah. And so I got these different 3D views in here. So those are all in there, you know, just to kind of like, that I use just as kind of like ad hoc views for me to understand what the particular structure look like. You don't need to keep these. You can delete them if you want to. They're just in there just to kind of give you some idea. Well, this is the one I got complete. So as you guys make these, you'll be making your own. So this is what you're going to do. And I just recommend that approach. Okay, that's a good thing to do. And then the very last thing down here at the bottom are the sheets. We talked about doing the sheets, and we've got, here's your cover sheet. We talked about that. And that's when you print your construction documents, that's what you're going to have there. You got your first floor here, which is going to look like that. You are not going to print the first floor detail. You're not going to do that. That's not going to be part of your set. Over here is the second floor. You got the basement, your elevations, foundation plan, wall section, and the last thing is your schedules, which is your doors and your walls. You got these things in place right here. So that's what you got going on. So let's go ahead and let us do this. I'm going to go back over to this view here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close everything out. So close all those out. So that is what this looks like. And we're just going to leave that one alone. Now I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to go to File. And I'm going to go to New. I'm going to go to New Project. File, New Project. This is how you'll do this. And then it's going to ask you, okay, what kind of template do you want to use? Well, this is where you're going to zoom out and find the one that you made. You're going to browse out to there. And so for me, I'm going to browse out here to my computer. And I'm going to go out here to my downloads. And right up here at the top is the Winthrop House Template 2023 RT. Well, this is 3 because I've downloaded this a few times. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And when I start this, I'm going to hit OK. Then it starts the new project. And it's going to do this because that was a 2018 template. And since then, we've gone to Revit 2021. So that's not a problem. Just go ahead. And it should do this. It's going to start you this way. And we're just going to go through this step by step and start this process. Okay, so when you get into this, now what you got right here is the basics. Okay, so you got this right here. Now, getting into this right now, going down to the bottom, I've already got some information in here for you. For instance, your sheets are already in place right here. They're already in place. And what you're going to do is you're going to be doing a little bit of work with these to turn them on and off to get these to work. And these are all, so your sheets are already there. And these are things you're going to put in place as you go along right there. So you have these. So going back to there, that's just to kind of show you how that all works. And I'm going to go back to this level 1 right here, close out of all my views. So in a level 1 right here, you'll notice right here, these actually already set up with the different information. So what I'm going to do is to start this whole thing. As we mentioned before, I'm going to go to my first floor plan. So go to my first floor plan, which is here, over here in level 1. So I'm going to go to there. And when I take a look at this, this is what I got so far. So we talked about this before, and we said that this is a 24-foot dimension here going outside to outside. So 24 feet, exterior dimension, 23 feet. And then this is 1.5 feet. And then this is 27 feet. Okay, so 24 and then 23 feet. So I've got these basic dimensions. Now, I'd recommend that you print these out so you guys have these. But right now I'm just going to kind of go through this. So let me get back over to my level 1. I'm going to start to draw this. So to do this, I'm going to go to my walls and I'm going to take a look at my walls. And by default, I've got the basic wall, brick exterior wall already set up here. So I'm good to go right now. So now all I have to do is I'm going to start to draw this. Now I want to use the finish face exterior. Okay, this is so I actually am drawing this to the exterior face because that's where the dimensions are. So I want to go ahead and have that. So I'm going to click on here. And the rest of this is all going to be good. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to click a point somewhere right along here. I'm going to start to pull it on up. Now you're going to notice as I'm pulling this up right now, you're only seeing 2 lines. You're only seeing 2 lines. You're seeing no details. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to give me fine. Now watch what happens when I click on fine. I click on fine, and when I click on this again, look at that now. Now you're actually seeing the elements that make up that wall. Okay, so I see the elements that are making up that wall. And if I want to get a little bit more detail, I could go here and I could say shaded. And when I go to shaded right there, it actually shows me this right here. Not in this view, but it will later. So I've got this right here. So we said that this dimension right here is going to be 24. So I'm just going to pull it up until I get to close to that neighborhood. And when I get up here, I'll go ahead and make it 24. And then I'll go take a look at it. When I take a look at that, I can see that, yep, there it is. The brick is on the outside. You want to make sure the brick's on the outside. I'm going to swing it over this way. And we said this dimension was 23. And just type in 23. Boom. Now from there, I'm going to continue to go out here. And this is going to be, now that I've done that, I got 24 feet by 23 feet. The next thing is this dimension is actually 1 foot 6 inches, 1.5 feet. So I could either type in 18 inches, I could type in 1 foot 6, or I could type in 1.5 for feet, because Revit always reads it in feet. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 1 foot 6 like this. When I do that, it gives me that little jog. Then in this dimension, this is 27 feet here. It's 27 feet. Then going on there, like I said before, this house was just basically a cube. So 27 feet in this dimension as well. And then back over in this dimension, 27 feet again. Then up here, 1 foot 6 again, 1 foot 6, boom. And then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go ahead and snap it to there. When I do that, that's what it looks like, okay? So that's what it looks like. You hit your escape key to clear it out a couple times. Now let's take a look at it in 3D, make sure that it is how we want it to look. So I'll go to here, click on there in 3D. All right, that's what we got so far. That is what we've got going on right now. So far, we're doing pretty good. That's actually looking pretty good and everything's in place. And sometimes as you zoom in here, you may see some kind of, these things might not really kind of attach very well, but that's okay. That's just, you know, that's kind of just a visual thing. But you got that in place right now. So I've got my brick and we're doing pretty good. Now, let me point something out here. One of the things about this right now, I'm going to go back over to here and I'm going to take a look at this right now. One of the things I want to point out here is you're going to notice that right here, there is a discrepancy right here between where this is right here. Notice this wall right here, it's lower than this wall, okay? And the reason why is this is actually a garage. Your garage actually is going to come down to grade, whereas your house is going to be a little higher up so that you don't have problems with water and so forth. So that's basically what we want to do right now. So that means we got to drop down this garage, the garage wall, so that they're actually located on the grade. So let's go ahead and go back over to here. And when we go to here, what we're going to do is I'm going to grab these 3 walls right here. I'm going to tell them instead of their base constraint being level 1, their base constraint is going to be grade. And when I do that, I went ahead and change it. Let's take a look at it. When we take a look at it, you see that, yep, there they are right now. They just went ahead and dropped down. And so that is how we go ahead and have that. Okay, so they're still connected there, but it looks like that. So if I go ahead and if I rotate this around a little bit, you'll see it looks like this, okay? And that's what you want it to look like. So that's how we begin to start to construct this. Any questions yet? You guys with me? Yeah, okay, you're gonna take that as a yes. Okay, so going back over here to level 1, the next thing I wanna do is I actually have an interior wall that actually runs from here to here. So let me just go over to here to show what that looks like. And going over to here, this is an interior wall right here. So if I click on that, this is a basic wall interior. Now, what is this one made up of? Well, that's not gonna have brick or anything. That one's just gonna be a simple, basically, you're gonna have a gypsum wall board, and you're basically gonna have just like a stud and drywall on the other side. So you got this, you got your stud, and you got your drywall on those sides. So that is all okay. So we don't necessarily need to do anything there. So we're good to go there. So that's actually in good shape right there. So I'm just gonna draw a line and I'm gonna change my wall type to draw that in place. So going over to here, I'm gonna draw my wall, going over here to wall. I'm gonna use wall architectural, and I'm gonna change my wall from exterior to interior wall 4.5 inches. So I'm gonna do that. So now as I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and touch it here. And when I touch it here, I should be able to pick this point, and I'm going up right now, go all the way up. I click there, boom, there you are. That looks pretty good there. And then that is what that looks like, basic wall interior. So let's see how it looks now, make sure that it is how it should be. And we go over to here and we see it that is how that looks right there. Now that wall should actually probably be down at grade as well, just to kind of like make it consistent. And we could, you know, fix that later if we need to, but that's kind of like, that's the wall that kind of goes into the garage. So it should be like that. So far, so good. So that is what we have going on right there. So that is what our structure looks like so far. So now we are looking pretty good. So now we got that. There's actually located back here, there's some doors, there's some windows and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and pop out of there, and I'm going to go over here. Now you notice this right here, this is door number 6. It's a single flush 36 by 84. Okay, this is also found on your schedule. So you turn to your schedule, and when you turn to your schedule, you're going to see that this particular door number 6 is that size. Just to show you how that works, you go over here, just so you guys can orient yourself with this well. You would go out here, and then what you would do is you would, let's see here, you would go out to here, and going out to here, we talked about this before, but as I go to the construction documents here, and I got these right here at the very bottom here, you're going to see here's your door schedule, and door number 6 is single flush. Can you guys see this right here? Can you guys see Blackboard?
Yeah.
All right. So you got single flush 36 by 84 inches. That's the door. It's a 3 foot by 7 foot door. So that's what you got going on there. So we're going to go back over here to Revit. And what we're going to do is we're going to place that in there. So this is going to be door number 6. So over to here, I'm going to do that 36 by 7 inches. So go to door. I'm going to go ahead and put in a single flush 36 inch by 84 inch door right here. So go ahead and grab that. I'm going to go ahead and take this, and you see it starts to find it out. You'll notice that right here, as I'm going to put a door in, I get the universal not allowed symbol. Okay, it looks like the diameter symbol, but it looks like that. But as soon as I touch a wall, it appears. So I can go ahead and take it and drag it along here, and I can pick how far along I want it to be away from here. And right now, I didn't give you a dimension here, and that is, that's neither here nor there. We're going to want to go ahead and be over here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a point there. Now, once you put it in here, you want to click on this, so it actually rotates it over that way. Okay, so once we got that, there's one other thing that's wrong here, and that is over here. I've actually got that. Now, once you put it in, you hit your escape key a couple times. You notice it says number 23. That's wrong. That's going to be number 6. So go ahead and change that to 6. Okay, go into there and do that. Now, once I've done that, I want to measure this and see what the distance is. Now, this tells me it's 2'6" from here. This is 1 foot over here. I want it to be like 1'6". 1'6". And that shoves it over a little bit, and that gives me a good, idea as far as where that should be. Now, going back and taking a look at that in 3D, let's go ahead and take a look at it. If we go ahead and round it like this, it does this right here. Now, what's the problem here? Well, it's not to grade. So I'm going to click on that door and make it go down to grade because it's too high, okay? Because that's what the what the garage has got to do. So go ahead and change that so it's like that. So these are some of the things you've got to be mindful of when you're working with Revit. Your levels are going to control the heights, how tall these things are. So I went ahead and did that. We've now got a pretty good idea as far as how that looks. So I went ahead and put in this one, that's number 6. And then this tag right here, that's actually in place right there. And we have the same thing right here, looking pretty good here. Now, there is a window over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. There's a window over here on the left. This is door number 1. So if I hover my cursor over here, it tells me that that's Windows, fixed garage window R2. Okay, so that's my Windows. Okay, so that's going to be number 1, Windows fixed garage window R2. That could also be found on the schedule. So I'm going to put in a window. So to put in your windows, you would go out to here, to my windows, and I'm going to go ahead and find this one. This is going to be scrolling down, fixed. It's fixed right here, and this is, I actually think I saved it as garage window. So I'm going to just make garage window. Now here's an interesting thing about Revit. When I pull this right here, you're going to notice that as soon as I touch the wall close to the midpoint, it says, oh, Tom wants to put this right in the center. So what it's doing there is automatically doing it. You're going to notice that it's 11 foot 5.5 on each side. Revit's going to try and do that for you. Now, of course, you don't have to use that, but in this case, I do want it centered. So I'll just go ahead and drop it right there. Then when I do that, that then shows in, and I made a mistake there because I didn't put a tag on it. So let me do that one more time. Go back to my window, garage window, and I want to make sure that I use tag placement. I want a tag on placement right here. Go ahead and put it right back here again, and yeah, there we go again. And go ahead and drop it in there. And it gives me the tag number 1. Let's take a look at it again in 3D. What do we have here? And now we have this window right there. So that's in place right there. So it's starting to come together here. That's a fixed window. So we have that in place. Now, there's, moving back over to here, you've actually got something else here. You got this overhead sectional garage door. If I hover my cursor over it, and like that, and I'm hovering my cursor right now, it's not giving me a highlight, is it? Okay, let me hit my tab key. Okay, there it is. overhead sectional garage door. And then it gives me some information on it. It tells me it's overhead sectional garage door. And let me see if it gives me any information on here. Tells me that it's 6'6" is the head height. That's just overhead sectional garage door. It looks like that is what that is. Okay, it's going to be 15 feet 10 3/4. Okay, but let's go ahead and put that in. So I'll go over here, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my doors because it's actually under my doors. And as I take a look at this, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my doors, and overhead sectional garage door is right here. So I'll go ahead and grab that. I'm going to pull my cursor right here. And again, it's going to try to put it right in the middle. And you're seeing, without me even doing a whole lot of work, it's going to do this. 11 foot 2 3/4. I click there. Boom. And that is now in place. And that looks pretty good there. And that has been placed. So I've got that. And then let me take a look at it in 3D. I think I might need to make it go. I think I might need to hit my escape key. I'm going to go ahead and click on this to make it go in like that. So let me take a look at it in 3D now and see what we got now. Okay, now that looks pretty good. That looks real good, except there's a problem. What's wrong with this garage door?
It's on the ground level.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. So I'm going to, and when you hover your cursor, if you can't get what you want, you hit your tab key. Like if you're right here, you hit your tab key a couple times until the element comes up that you want. It'll be highlighted when you click on it, and then you can change it. Go into here. So your tab key allows you to do that. So make that gray. Boom. Well, that's looking pretty good right there. So we're looking great. No, that might be the wrong side. Yeah, I flipped it in the wrong direction. So let me go ahead and do this, and I will change the orientation by, I can right click and I can say choose flip facing. So I went ahead and maybe not right again. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that backwards. Okay, is that right now? Okay, I think that's better now. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so it should look like that. And if it, yeah, sometimes your display might lie to you a little bit. So you might need to have to go back and forth between these views to kind of see what you want to. But that's what it looks like. And then you kind of zoom in and out, and it kind of lies to you. So anyway, that's what it should look like. Okay, so now that we've got that, going back to here, what else do we have? We got a few other doors over here. I've actually got, well, I got a window right here. I got a window right here. I'm going to hover it. And this is windows slider with trim, 5 feet by 3 feet. 5 feet by 3 feet, slider with trim, and it's 7'4" from the side. So it's a window, slider, 5 feet by 3 feet. So let's go back to here. Go ahead and put this in. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my slider window. So I'm going to go over here to my window, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to choose down here, slider with trim, 5 feet by 3 feet. Okay, right there. And I'm going to go here. That's what I want. So go ahead and pull it right up over to here, and you go ahead and drop it right there. Okay. So once I've dropped it there, I can go ahead and click on it. And the thing is, it tells me it's 3'6" to there. And what it's really got to be is 7'4" to the center. So I need to change what are called right here my temporary dimensions. So I'll put the slide right here. This allows me to determine where this is going to go. So I'm going to click there. And now I went ahead and did this. And now I have to move this over. So I click on it. Or I could just go ahead and drag it. But right now, if I do this, it tells me this, and the distance here is supposed to be 7'4". So I type in 7'4", boom, and it moves that over. Okay, so let's again do what we've been doing, going back here and examining it. Okay, it looks pretty good there. That's my kitchen window right there. So we are looking good there. So that's looking pretty great. And then we'll continue on here. So what do we have then next? So we have that in place right there, and that should be number 5. Let's see if it is. And number 5 is right there. In this case, I'm going to move this outside, okay, like that, so that it's just outside like that. Now, one of the things I should always be doing as I go along here is dimension these things to make sure that they're correct. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to click on this wall right here, and you'll notice that it says 22 feet 7.5. But look what's dimensioning. I want to go to the outside dimension, so I've changed that. I'm going to change this over so that it actually should be on the inside. And when I do this, it's going to go to the inside. It should be going to the inside of the brick here. All right, let's see if I can get to go to the inside of the brick. I should be able to do that. Yep, right like that. And when I do that, it should be 23 feet. And it is 23 feet. Now, to make these dimensions permanent, there is this little tool under here. It says make this temporary dimension permanent. So I'll click on that. Boom, that's now 23 feet. So we're going to go there. And now I want to get this other one over here. This one, I'm going to change this. It's going to change this to go to the outside there and change this to go to the outside there. And when I do that, it looks like that. That's 24 feet, which is what I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. and it goes ahead and drops that down. Okay, so I got 23 feet and 24 feet, so we're good to go there. And then what I want to do is I want to put these dimensions out here. So I'm going to click on there, and this one, I'm going to go ahead and move this witness line like this by clicking on it. Clicking on the little circle, and it should move it. Okay, all right, and then we'll go over here as well. Okay, so we got that. Now that tells me that's 27 foot 10. Why? Because it didn't go all the way out. All right, so I need to make sure it goes all the way to the outside. This is where you just have to watch where these things are measuring. I actually want to measure to the outside of the brick. So in this particular case, I've got to take this and drag it so it comes the outside of the brick like that. When I do that, boom, there's my magic number, 27 feet. So I click and make that permanent. And then I click on this one right here and try this one. Click on this one. And actually, let's not give you that. So if it won't give you a dimension easily, then just go up here to the top. Let me show you where to get these. And that's something I've shown you before, but it certainly bears repeating. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go ahead and click on annotate. And up on annotate right here, you're going to notice that I've got this dimension right up here. It's dimension tool right up here, right there. And that's what I want to use here. So I'm going to use that. So I click on the dimension tool, it's your line dimension, and this is where I could actually go ahead and begin to pick where I want to measure from. So that's going to be, now right there, you see it's trying to pick the center line. Okay, so what I want to do here, and it's actually getting it from this right here, wall center line. So in this case, that's the default, but I can also hover the cursor right here and hit my tab key right there. See that? And when I hit the tab key, it finds something else. So I went ahead and did it that way. So your tab key allows you to dimension to whatever you really want to. I'll hit tab key again, click there, and boom, we're in good shape. And then that also says 27 feet. So we are good to go. So you just want to continue dimensioning as you go along through here. And actually, this one should be actually up here. That's another story, but we'll get into that. So we'll do that. So you got 27 feet and 27 feet, and that's basically dimensioned the way it should. So we are in good shape there. Okay, looking very good. Okay, now you also have back here, just to show you the next thing, is you actually have a door back here. It's actually a 3-panel door. It's triple glass, 108 by 84. So it's called doors triple glass, 108 by 84, and it's 6'6" from the side here. So I'm going to put that in. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my doors, and let's see if I can't find it. So going down to here, I'm going to take a look, and I have, let's see here, where is it? Triple glass, 108 by 84. That's what we said, wasn't it? Yep. And 108 by 84. So we'll click on that. I'm going to I'm going to drop it right around here. You'll notice that it's kind of showing me the whole thing there. So I'm going to drop it there. And when I do that, it looks like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, and I want it to be 6'6". Oh, I got it. Well, I didn't quite get it because it needs to go to the very outside. So I want to make that 6'6" now. So 6'6", boom. And that is in place right there. And that's number, let's see, it looks like that should be number, should that be number 5? Yeah, it should be number 5. So I'll take that one. No, that's, yeah, that should be number 5. So I got to change the number on that one by going into here. And you got to kind of zoom into these to get to actually change these. So go to here and change it there and make that 5, like that. Okay, there we go. So that's number 5, and we're good to go. So now we got the basics here. Now, having done that, we'll now take a look at this next thing, which is up here in the front. You got this right here. You got this front window right here. I hover my cursor, and it tells me it's a double hung with trim, 36 by 72. So this is a 3 foot by 6 foot window. 3 foot by 6 foot, so that's pretty tall. So that's your window's double hung right there, and that's 7'4" from the side here. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. So we'll go to door, and double hung 3 feet by 6 feet. Let's see here, door, not door, it should be window. Okay, window. Okay, so we'll go to here and we'll make it double hung with trim 36 by 72 is what it's got to be actually. 36 by 72, yep. So go ahead and drop this into here. All right, we'll do that. And then once I've got that, that's number 4, and that's actually correct, so I'll click on that. And then what's this got to be? It's got to be from here. We'll go ahead and go from here to the outside like that. And we'll go ahead and make that, instead of being 5'6.5", we'll make that 7'4". Boom. And that puts that in place like that. And so we got that. You know, is that permanent? Now at that point, I went ahead and put in both these dimensions, and I don't want both of them. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of one of these. So what I do is I can go ahead and I hover my cursor here, hit my tab key until it finds the one I don't want. Go over here, like there. I click, and then I clicked on it. It's highlighted, and I hit my delete key. So I can get rid of them one at a time if I want to. And then since this is in the way, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull it out of the way like this, like that. Makes it more legible. Okay, good. So now that we've done that, I have one more door in place, which we're going to work on here, which is level 1 over here. And this is number 4. This is door, exterior single entry, half arch glass wood clad. All right, that's what that is. Okay, so that's what we have going on there. So that's what we're going to put in there. And that's, we'll go to here and we'll go ahead and drop that in there. So to do this, we go to door and we're going to go ahead and take a look at these. So let's go ahead and go down here. And this one is actually down here, door exterior, single entry, half arch glass wood. Sometimes these show up down here. Sometimes they're up here. But in any case, we're just going to go ahead and grab this one down here. 36 by 84 is what we wanted. And we'll go ahead and drop it right around there. And that one has to be rotating that direction like that. And that's supposed to be number 4. So I got to change that number. So I'll click on that. And again, you got to kind of like go in here to get it. And if that happens, just close out of it because you don't want to do that. That means that when you do that, it means that Revit thinks you want to go ahead and change it, change its definition. You want to do that. So that's number 4. That looks like that right there. Now I just have to get the dimension here. So go like this, and I go first of all to the exterior, and then I want this to go to the middle. So I got to click on this a couple times. Okay, and I think that's right. Yeah, there we go. And then that's got to be 7'4". So 7'4", boom, there we are. So we're good to go there. And so go ahead and do this, and we'll go ahead and click on that, and we are good to go like that. So it's 7'4" and 7'4", and that looks pretty good there. And that is how we go ahead and do this. Let's take a look at it in 3D, see how that looks. And that is how we have basically got it. That's the basics right there. So we got the starting points right there, and that is how we have it. That's how much we have right there. And that's the first floor. And I think at this point, that is, oh, I got one more door I can put in here. And that's the door that goes into the garage. And that's number 19. So let's go, we can do that one. We can do that one real quickly. So we'll do this one. It's this door right here. It's door number 19. And that's 36 by 84. That one's going to need to move up and down the wall a little bit. So you know what? We're going to wait. We're going to wait on that one. We're not going to do that one yet. Let's see here. That's a good amount right there to get us started with. Let's see here. Don't know if I want to overwhelm you guys, but that's enough to get us to where we want to go to right here, so you guys understand that. And you want to make sure you have all those. So that's, you know what? That's where we're going to stop. We're going to go ahead and we're going to park it right there. And so that gives us a good amount to work with here. And that is what I'm going to leave it with right now. So we're going to stop right here. And we're going to be working on this for the next 4 weeks. So what I would like you guys to do is to begin to work on this. And as you work on this, I want you to go ahead and to get it to this point right here. In other words, you're going to do the first floor right here. You're going to basically have these elements in place right here. So it's going to be exterior walls, your doors, and your windows. And that's where we're going to stop it. Make sure they are where they should be. And then we'll take it from there. And if you want to get a little preview as far as what it's going to look like here, you can go ahead and take a look at your elevations. And over here, you see this. And it's like, well, hey, all right, we're looking pretty good here. We're getting there. And going through here, you're looking at these different elements right here. And it starts to show you that you're starting to look like something here. So those are some things you guys can do and you can work on just to begin to get to where you want to be. But don't forget to save your project. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. And this project, the name of this one's going to be, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and save this as a project. And we're going to save this one as our desktop. And I think the name of it, I don't have it right for anybody. I believe it's Winthrop House. Winthrop. And typically all capitals, how I like to do this, Winthrop House with your last name, like that. And I'm going to go ahead and save this to my desktop. Boom. And we'll come back to this next week. So that's what we have so far. Okay, and we will continue on. Next week, we'll continue to put on the exterior walls and we'll start to build out the second floor. And then we're going to do a few other things as far as actually starting to make this thing look like it should. So we're going to stop right there. And we're going to go ahead and leave that right there. So Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the video right now. I'm going to go ahead and stop this.